Hello everyone, welcome to the lab briefing for KKEE1142 Electric and Electronic Lab 1. My name is Dr. Iskandar Yahya and I'm your course coordinator. This lab briefing is compulsory for all first year students. I will explain to you all the necessary information that you need before you can start your lab sessions. So it's important that you stick with me until the very end. Let's begin. In this briefing, we will talk about the course evaluation, course information, lab schedule and grouping, lab procedure and report, safety and lab staff, rules and regulations. First, please go to UKM and download the course proforma. In this document, it has all the important details about the course. The course proforma also includes the course outcomes, which are 4 altogether, and these are the things that you will learn until the very end of this course. So please read them carefully at your own time. For course evaluation, you will be graded based on 3 things. First, your lab attendance and report, which is 70%. Lab project 1, lab-based mid-semester exam, 10%. And lab project 2, lab-based end-semester exam, 20%. Both lab project 1 and 2 are practical lab exams, which you will have to do individually in the lab. This course has 2 credit hours. You must attend and submit at least 80% of the lab sessions to be allowed to take the final lab test. For the lab schedule, each week, the lab sessions are divided into 3 sessions. Session 1, Monday, 2 p.m. to 4:50 p.m. Session 2, Tuesday, 2 p.m. to 4:50 p.m. And Session 3, Wednesday, 9 a.m. to 11:50 a.m. The lab is located at the JKEES first year lab next to the badminton court in the academic building, ground floor. In case of holiday, if your session falls on a public holiday, then you can replace your lab session on Friday 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Your lab starts in week 1 with the introductory lab. This lab is compulsory. If you miss it without a good reason, you cannot enter any other lab sessions. This introductory lab starts on Wednesday 19th of March 2025 for session 1. Please check the full lab schedule on UKM Folio for the topics each week. We will have lab test 1 in week 7 and lab test 2 in week 12. More information about the lab test will be given later. The lab grouping. You will work in groups of 2 students, which will be assigned to you. The groups are listed on UKM Folio. You cannot change your group or session unless there is a very important reason, like a clash with a compulsory course or for medical reasons. If you have such a reason, you must apply for a change by the end of week 2 by contacting me via email or via UKM Folio. Before each lab session, you need to download the lab instruction manual from UKM Folio, read and understand everything in the manual, print out the manual, and do the pre-lab work before coming to the lab session. Please arrive for your lab session on time, do your work carefully, record your data, and complete your report after the lab session. If you need to submit your lab report, you need to submit your lab report as a soft copy, which is a digital file through UKM Folio. The lab manual has a lab report template at the very end. Fill all the sections, the results, analysis, discussion, and conclusion to get the best marks. Each student must submit their own report. Even if you work with a partner in your group, your report must be your own work. Do not copy from others. You and your partner may have the same results and data, but your analysis, your discussion, and conclusion should not be the same, so it must be your own. The deadline for submitting the lab report is 24 hours after the end of your lab session. For example, if your lab session ends on Monday at 5 p.m., that means you need to submit by Tuesday before 5 p.m. Late submission will get 0 marks, but you can still submit with a penalty, usually around 20 to 50%. No, I'm sorry, you will not get 0, but you will be penalized between 20 to 50%, depending on how late you are. So your lab report will be graded based on marking rubric, which usually is given at the end of your lab manual. The rubric may be different for each lab topic, but generally, your results and analysis should consist 40%. discussion around 40%, conclusion 20%, and your lab report must be handwritten. Print your template, write your answers, and then scan it into PDF file and upload it in UKM Folio. The first year lab has two rooms, room A and room B. So please note which room you are in and the number of your station in your lab report. This is important for our tracking. So I will show to you what I mean by this. So I will give you an example. So this is so as you can see here, this is the lab manual for, let me just close this real quick. So this is the lab manual for experiment 1, Ohm's law. So in this manual, we will give you the objective and then the pre-lab work that you need to do using the simulator before you come for your lab session. And then you need to bring your pre-lab during the lab session. So these are the apparatus that you need. And then normally we will also include some theory behind the lab that you are going to do. So to help you understanding the underlying principle of the lab session. And then you will start to do your lab based on the procedure. Normally your procedure of your lab will consist of more than one part. So normally there's 2 or 3 parts. At the end of the procedure, you will see the template of your lab report. So this is the template of your lab report. So it's important that you write your name, and then your metric number. Okay, and also write down the name of your partner in your group, and then your group number and your station number. So there's 2 rooms in lab year 1, A and B, and then each station will have a number. So if you are in room A, station 5, for example, so right there A5. Oops, right there A5. Okay, so looking down the report template, you can see there are tables that is already provided and prepared for you. So all you need to do is to follow the instruction, the procedure, do the measurement, collect your data, and then write your data in your lab report. And then there will be spaces whereby there will be questions asked that you need to answer in the spaces provided. The discussion of your lab report must be written on your own. But here normally we will include some questions or information that you are required to include in your discussion to help you out. And similarly for the conclusion as well, we will normally give you some pointers or question for you to answer as your conclusion. At the end of the lab manual, normally there will be the rubric that you can refer to know what is the marks distribution for each lab. Okay, so going back to the presentation. So the pre-lab, so the pre-lab work is required for some experiments, most experiments actually, so including the introductory lab. This might involve calculations or simulations. You must complete the pre-lab before coming to the lab and your instructor will check it. If you don't have your pre-lab work with you, you may not be allowed to enter the lab and carry out your experiments. So make sure you understand also your pre-lab, because in some cases we will ask you questions about your pre-lab. So if you cannot answer or understand, that means we know that you have copied the pre-lab from somebody else and it's not your own work. Okay, so make sure that you pay attention to that. Always read the entire lab manual. Okay, always read the entire lab manual. It contains important information such as the lab objective, theory, calculations, list of equipment, results that you need to record, questions for discussion, and also the conclusion. The components and measurement may be different for each lab session. So follow the manual for your specific session or specific day. For your safety, you need to know the location of the entrance, the exit door, the location of the fire extinguishers, first aid kit, safety boots, and in case of emergency, please tell the lecturer, the demo, or also the lab technician. Always connect all plugs and cables before turning on the power supply. Turn off all equipment and all power point sockets after each experiment. Disconnect all cables and plugs. Always alert the instructor or technician if you encounter any problem, like for example, if you can see smoke or coming out from your equipment, or you can smell something burning. Please tell the demonstration or the lecturer as soon as you can. Do not keep quiet, because in such event, we need to minimize the risk and for your own safety. So these are the lab staff. So we have Encik Farouk bin Razali and also Puan Anis Najwa, who will be taking care of room 1 and room 2, or room A and room B. You can work at any available room or station, okay, but always please make sure that you write what is the station number and also the room number in your lab report. So attendance to the lab sessions is compulsory. Please be on time. If you are more than 20 minutes late, you will usually not be allowed to enter the lab. So unless you have a valid excuse, like for example, medical emergency, religious reasons, university events, family emergency, then you will not be allowed to carry out the experiment. So please make sure that you come on time, and if you have any excuse to be late, or if you cannot come, you need to tell the lecturer in advance if possible. Now, dress code, very important. You must follow this dress code at all times when you come to the lab. First of all, you need always to make sure that you wear a collared shirt. That means a shirt with a collar, like a polo shirt also can. This shirt also can. You can wear a jacket, that's no problem. Do not come wearing a round neck t-shirt. If I see you wearing a round neck t-shirt, I will ask you to go out immediately until you change to a collared t-shirt. Okay, you need to wear your student ID card at all times. So you have to have your metric card with you all the time. When I say you have to have it with you, it means that you need to put it in a card holder like this with a lanyard and put it over your head, or you can have it with a clip and you can clip it on your shirt. Do not put it on your table, okay? Your metric card should be on you, not anywhere else. And then you need to wear closed-toe shoes. Closed-toe shoes, that means shoes that covers the entirety of your foot. Okay, any shoes is okay. Okay, as long as it's not high heels. And then you have to make sure that you wear long pants or long skirts only. That means your shorts must be way below your knee, okay, almost to your ankle. I don't want to see anybody wearing 3/4 shorts or mini skirt. Okay, you must wear long pants or long skirt only. And if you have a long hair, if your hair is long up until your shoulder or beyond, then you have to come in and tie your hair up. Okay, I don't want to, you cannot have your hair dangling down on the equipment because it might be short-circuiting your circuit. And so again, no t-shirt. Now, mobile phone and smartphone. You can bring your mobile phone to the lab, no problem, but make sure it is in silent mode or vibrate mode. Do not answer calls inside the lab. So if somebody calls you, excuse yourself, go out from the lab and answer your call if it's important, and then come back to the lab immediately. Do not use your phone for viewing lab manual. Okay, so like I said, your lab manual or your lab manual must be printed out, but you can also bring it in a form of tablet. So if you have a tablet, then you can bring it. But I don't want you to use your handphone to view your lab procedure or your lab manual. If you don't have a tablet, print out and bring it in. If I see you using your phone as your lab manual, then you will be in trouble. Do not use it for any other purposes, like for example entertainment. And you can still use your phone to search for related information about your lab. Okay, if you break any of these rules, I will take away your phone and only give it back to you until the end of the lab session. Some other rules that you need to abide by are punctuality, be on time, no entrance after 20 minutes. Whenever the lab session starts, please be prepared at your station, and because normally the lecturer will start with a 5 minutes briefing, okay, and the lab session must stop 10 minutes before 5 p.m. So that means by 4:50 p.m. or 11:50 a.m. depending on when is your session, you need to stop everything and then start to clean your lab session. So make sure your lab station is clean and everything is ordered properly before you leave. Makeup lab and replacement lab. So if you miss a lab with a valid reason, like medical certificate required, if you miss a lab with a valid reason because of your health issues, or if you are involved in university events, then you have to bring with you your medical certificate or a letter, official letter, and give it to the lecturer. Okay, please inform the lecturer. The lecturer will not know if you attend or not, so you have to inform your lecturer either in advance or after. So a note about lab equipment. So you need to understand that lab equipment are expensive, they are hazardous. So therefore, if you are not clear or not sure about anything, please ask the instructor, demo, or lab technician. If you're not sure of anything at all, we will not be mad or angry at you as a first year student to ask anything, even if you feel that your question is a stupid question. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Every question is a good question. Okay, so it's better to ask rather than be sorry afterwards. So that is all for our lab briefing. That concludes everything that I need you to know. So if you have any questions, please email me, or you can direct message me on UKM-Folio. Use the messaging forum on UKM-Folio as well. Please refrain from using WhatsApp to me, because that is only for emergency. If you WhatsApp me, I will ignore you. So please, if you have any problem, email me. Alright? So thank you very much for your time, and I wish you all the best and good luck.